You want to have a door that is locked and player has to find key to open it. But how? In this video you will learn how to create basic door and key system, how to put a key inside another object, and how to hide the key. What will you need to have? 3D model of door and key. Other models are here to all look pretty, but not necessary for functionalities. If you want frame around door or something you can go through, don't forget to change collisions. I have it basic, so it's okay to use complex collisions as simple. You can also add a handle, lock, or even whole level, but change collisions same as with door frame. I will modify blueprints from my previous tutorial series, but I will tell you all you need to know. If you will still struggle to make something working, I pin it to this video and put it in the description, so feel free to check it out. First you need a blueprint of an actor class, which I named BP_door. Here add static mesh of door. If you have, add handle and lock. Make sure they are children of door mesh and adjust location if necessary. Now I will show you things I have prepared. For interaction I created and implemented interface I_interactable. This interface has two functions, interact and show info. Function interact is called when player interacts with object. Both functions have input parameter hid component of type primitive component. You need input parameter only if you will want to hide key inside of another blueprint. Show info has another input parameter HUD of type widget blueprint HUD. This function is used to display to the player information about object. Now go to third person character blueprint. Event loop for info is an infinite loop. First, it calls raycast. If we hit interactable object, it shows proper info to the player. Then it waits for 0.2 seconds. In a case we stopped looked at interactable object, it clears shown information. I use E key to interact. If we hit interactable object, we interact with it. If we hit non-interactable object, nothing happens. To the raycast function. Here we have basic raycast. Trace length is set to 500. In a return node we return the result of a line trace out hit. Clear HUD calls function of HUD set info text, which I show you in a sec, and sets blank text. Go to the end of default begin play. Add create widget, where you set widget blueprint HUD. Promote it as variable HUD. Add it to the viewport. And initiate infinite loop for info. I also change length of camera boom to 150 units just so we can see better. Open content browser and open or create widget blueprint, which I called WBP_HUD. I have here a canvas panel with text block named TB_info, which is 100 units below center of screen, without text, and is marked as variable. In graph I have one function setInfoText, which sets up text of TB_info. Now go back to door blueprint and to the event graph. Here I have implemented interface functions and added basic mechanics which we will extend. Let's walk through them. We interact with door. Based on enumeration door status, we decide if door is closed, we change status to open and play timeline door mechanics. If door is open, we change status to closed and reverse timeline door mechanics. Timeline goes from 0 to -90 and it's used to rotate static mesh of door by z-axis. When we look at door, we want to let players know they must interact with it to change its state. Is door closed? Press E to open it. Is door open? Press E to close it. Stuff here was for testing, you never saw it. We are finally getting to the main part, mechanism of the key. Question you need to ask yourself is, do I need to store key in some kind of inventory? No, you don't, but player can think you do. You will know what I mean in a moment. Now open Content Browser and go to your door blueprint and here open or create if you don't have already enumeration en_door status. Here add 3 more enumerators, so we have 5 in total. We have closed and open. Third one name locked-no key. Fourth locked-have key. And last one name wait. Close it and you can see switch on updated appropriately. Because we want to work with a key, change default value of status to locked no key. First, we update information shown to the player by show info. So, duplicate set info text for locked no key. We want to let players know what's happening, so type something like door is locked, find key. For locked have key, I want the player to know they have the key, so type you found key, press E to unlock door. Wait state stays blank. Don't forget to connect HUD reference to target. Now let's go to interact function. When we haven't picked up key yet, door itself should do nothing. When player picks up the key and comes to the door, I want them to see how it unlocks, so add set status after locked have key, but set it to closed for now. We will be doing animation here later. Create new function key picked up. This function will be called by the key and it will simulate having an inventory. Add switch on of status, and only when we have no key we want to change it to have key. In a case we would have multiple keys to one door. You don't want to unlock already open the door. Now we would like to test it, but we have no key yet. So import model of key if you haven't already. I set gold material to it to make it look nice and important. Open Content Browser and go to the folder for interactable items. Create new blueprint, select actor, name it BP_key, and open it. Add new static mesh or just drag mesh of key from Content Browser right into blueprint. Place key blueprint into your level and scale mesh size if necessary. Key itself is small, so add box collision. Scale down height and move it as you see fit. Every key should belong to some door or at least lock, so add new variable door and change its type to BP door. Because key needs to be interactable object, go to class settings and add to it interface I interactable. In left menu, double click to implement those functions. First, I start again with show info. Add function of widget blueprint HUD, set info text, and set text to press E to pick up key. For interact function, drag in door reference. Out of it, search for our key picked up function. After key is picked up, we want to destroy it, so destroy actor. There are 2 ways I will show you how to assign key to the door. First one is one which you will probably use, and it is by making door variable public by clicking the I. So do it and hit compile. Now go to your level, click the key, and here you can select one of all objects in your level which matches with the data type of it. Click to it. You can see door here, so select it and let's test it. When we come to the door, it is locked. We pick up the key, we see message that we have it, press E to unlock, and now we can open and close it as many times as we want. Now to the second way how to assign key to the door. Open your level blueprint, go to key blueprint and unmark variable as public and compile. Undock level blueprint, go to your level, and drag into it from your level your object's door and key. Dock it back and out of key, search for set door, connect it after begin play, and connect door reference to door pin. The advantage of this approach is that you can see all you have set up so you don't forget anything. When you delete a key, you must delete it from level blueprint as well, otherwise you get error message, but it won't crash your game, or it shouldn't as far as I know, so you can take it as a disadvantage or advantage of checking if you would accidentally delete key from your level. I will use the second approach, but use the one that suits you better. Let's quickly make unlocking animation. In Door Blueprint, add another static mesh, name it key, and change it to key as well. Position the key to keyhole and adjust its size if necessary, the player could see it. Move it out of keyhole and go to event graph. The set of have key, change status to wait. Add a new timeline for unlocking animation. I name it unlock door. Before we start unlocking, key will be invisible, so drag in key reference and out of it search for set visibility. Place it between set status and timeline and set new visibility to true. Copy set visibility with key reference, paste it a bit down next to timeline, connect to it finished and change new visibility to false. This way key will be visible only during this animation. When we unlock door, it is closed, so add after it set status and set it to closed. Now open unlocking door timeline. Add new float track and name it key Y location. Right click and add key to curve. Set time to 0. Our current key's location will be start location. So if you have selected key, as I do, you can see in details what value to set here. So I set value to 35. Now go to viewport and position key in keyhole. 20 works for me. So back to timeline and add a new key. Set time to 1 and the value your current Y location. Now I want to rotate my key. Add a new float track, name it key X rotation. Add a new key which will be starting point of rotation. So I set value to my default value 90 and time slightly after we finish putting key in, to 1.2. Add another key and 90 minus 360 is equal to minus 270. I set time to 3, the rotation wouldn't be too fast. Don't forget to change timeline length as well. Back to event graph and out of key reference, search for set relative location and rotation. Split structure pin for new location and new rotation. Connect it appropriately and set default visibility of key to false. Out of key reference, search for get relative transform. Split structure pins for location and rotation and connect all unconnected pins of set appropriately. This is too much mess for me, so I also clean it up a bit. Everything should work now, so let's test it. Go to the door. Door is locked. Pick up the key. We found key, so unlock the door. Key is visible and animation working. Open door and voila, everything works. Now I also realized I want key to move out of keyhole. If you want it as well, just go back to timeline and extend length to 4. Add key with time equal to 3 and value is same as closer key. Add another key with time equal to 4 and value is same as farther key. Yes, this is it. If this video helped you so far, feel free to like it and subscribe. You don't always want the key to be visible. but you want to hide it inside of another object. There are two ways how you can do it. First one is that player can't ever see the key. For this, I created a model of a rubbish bin. Second one is hide key and player must interact with another object to see it. For this, I created a model of table with two drawers. If you create it as well, don't forget to change default mesh colliders, otherwise it may not work for you. To the first one, create new blueprint of an actor class and name it bp underscore bin with key. This will be interactable object, so go to class settings and select interface I interactable. Now it will be similar as with keyActra. Add into it static mesh, add new variable, name it door and change type to bp door. Open content browser and create new enumeration en underscore searchable object. Add three enumerators, unknown, empty, and hidden item. Go back to blueprint, add new variable, name it status, and change it to en searchable object. To the implementation of showInfo function. Drag in status reference and out of it search for switch on. Out of HUD pin search for set info text for every status. For where we haven't looked into it, press E to look into bin. For when it's empty, bin is empty. For when there is a hidden item, in this case key, you found key, press E to pick it up. Now to the implementation of interact function. Add to it switch on as in first function. For unknown add isValid node with question mark. Drag in key reference and connect it into it. IsValid if there is a key in, so add after its set status and change it to hidden item. IsNotValid is when there is nothing in a bin, so add after its set status as well and change it to empty. When bin is empty, we want to do nothing. When there is a key, we want to pick it up. And then there is no key anymore, so change status to empty. Don't forget to connect the HUD to duplicated set info text nodes as I did and hit compile. Place bin into your level and assign the door to it. Quick test. And everything works. Now to the hidden key. Create new blueprint of an actor class and name it bp underscore table. Add mesh into it. And this will be interactable object as well. Now we finally use hit component bins of our interface functions. For this I created custom function in custom function library so I could use it in multiple blueprints. You can do it same way or just create this function in your table blueprint. I named this function compare components. It has two input pins, hit component and bp component. Both are type of primitive component, but bp component is changed to array. Output is integer array index. I also set it as pure function because it won't be doing changes, it just returns number. This function loops through all bp components. If it finds the same component as we hit, it returns its index number in array. If it doesn't find it, it returns -1. Back to the table blueprint. Out of hit component, search for compare components. Out of bp component, search for make array. Add pin, drag in your drawers, and connect them into it. Out of array index, search for switch on int and add two pins. Those numbers are now equal to items connected in array. I just make brief info to let player know that they should interact with it. copy switch on and paste it to interact function. Add a new timeline push/pull drawer and make track for pulling out the drawer. For knowing if you should open it or close it, I just quickly created if-else with booleans. Second timeline is just copy of the first one, because having one and do check switch drawer move in update would be more expensive. When you have it done, drag into Blueprint viewport your key, make it as child of drawer you want the put key in, and position key into it. Make sure that collider of key is not higher than table. For assigning door to key, you could add a door variable to table and in begin play set it to key. In level blueprint, out of table, get key, get it as child actor, cast it to BP key, convert it to pure cast, and after all of this, you can finally set the door to it. Now final test how it works. And we're done. Now you know how to set up door and key mechanism. Oh, I almost forget. This video was sponsored by me. I sacrificed a lot of time to make this video, so hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want to learn more about Unreal Engine, definitely check another video right here.